This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Well, good day. I'm Elena Rusk. It has happened again. Another Kern County child overdosing on the deadly synthetic opioid fentanyl. According to court records obtained by 17 News, it happened last month when an 18-month-old boy suffered a fentanyl overdose while in the care of his parents. The documents say the toddler had no pulse, wasn't breathing, and had turned blue by the time a nurse examined him the morning of June 16th at Adventist Health. She then began CPR, and another hospital staff administered Narcan, resuscitating the child. No charges have yet been filed in connection with this incident. The court records say the parents told deputies a relative with a drug problem had possibly dropped the drugs. The husband reported to have found a white powdery substance on the floor he believed was fentanyl or methamphetamine. According to the filing, the wife consented to a drug test. The husband refused because he said he had touched the suspected drugs. A records check showed the husband was arrested last year on drug-related offenses. He pleaded no contest to misdemeanor drug possession. Now, this may sound familiar because earlier this year we reported court documents in a similar case where investigators say a mother did not call 911 during her 9-month-old baby's overdose because she didn't want to go to jail. The document stated 23-year-old Gabriella Cruz was arrested in January after a neighbor overheard her screaming and called 911. An officer said he arrived to find several people working to help the child, who was occasionally gasping for air. The boy taken to a hospital, and he survived. Cruz has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of felony child cruelty and other drug charges. She is due back in court in August. Now, that same month, a 1-year-old overdosed on fentanyl as well. Records show the parents in that case, John Lawson and Gabriella Goldberg, still haven't been charged. Police records show they admit to smoking fentanyl the night of January 15th, and their son was later discovered unresponsive in their Crowell Way apartment. Lawson said the boy may have been exposed to fentanyl through a straw that was found near him. The boy rushed to the hospital and treated for an opioid overdose. He survived. Lawson and Goldberg were arrested on suspicion of felony child endangerment, but have since bailed out. Prosecutors have sent the case back to police for further investigation. Now, for more on the fentanyl crisis, including 17's Robert Price's Emmy Award-winning series, Fentanyl, the Counterfeit Killer, visit our website, kget.com/fentanyl. And now to your Crime Watch, as an investigation is underway after a man was shot at a motel in South Bakersfield last night. Investigators saying it happened at the Country Inn Motel on South Union Avenue about 11:30. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says they found the man in his car with a gunshot wound following a confrontation outside of that motel. The man is stable and expected to survive. Deputies say the victim and the shooter knew each other, but they have no further suspect information to release at this time. And now the Bakersfield Police Department searching for 2 missing sisters they say ran away. 16-year-old Roxana Jones was last seen on Rambler Avenue around 7 p.m. on Saturday, that was July 23rd. She was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, green camo pants, and carrying a blue duffel bag and a pink backpack. 15-year-old Jada Jones was then last seen the next day, July 24th, about 1 p.m. in that same area. She was last seen wearing a white t-shirt and white shorts. She has purple in her hair. Anyone with information regarding their whereabouts is asked to call the BPD at 327-7111.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OB/GYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
And now to our state's wildfires. Crews are making some progress battling the Oak Fire, which as of this morning is now listed at 32% contained. This latest fire burning near Yosemite has destroyed 41 homes and other buildings. The fire burning more than 18,000 acres now. That means it has consumed nearly 29 square miles of forest. About 6,000 residents from mountain communities near there are still under evacuation orders. And the cause of this fire, which started last Friday, still under investigation. Meanwhile, both Tuolumne and Placer counties are issuing an air quality advisory due to the heavy smoke from that fire. Officials say groups should limit time outdoors, and that includes children, the elderly, pregnant women, or those with chronic lung or heart illnesses. Health officials say the little bits of smoke and ash in the air can trigger asthma attacks and even heart attacks. Now, high winds are expected to direct some of that smoke into Kern County, but the hazy conditions won't warrant the need for an N95 mask just yet. That may change come tomorrow. All right, now to our Water Watchers file. The water that comes out of the tap for more than 900,000 Californians is unsafe to drink, and the state isn't acting fast enough to help clean it up. Those are among the findings of a state audit release yesterday. Water systems are considered failing if they have high levels of a range of contaminants like nitrates and arsenic that can make people sick. The State Water Resources Control Board has provided at least $1.7 billion in grants since 2016 to help districts clean up their systems. But the audit says it took 33 months on average in 2021 for water systems to complete the application process and receive the money. Meanwhile, state officials have released their latest plan to reroute water from the wetter north to the drier south of our state through a giant underground tunnel. The proposal made public today puts the Newsom administration's stamp on an infrastructure project that's been talked about for decades. The Department of Water Resources plan outlines possible harmful effects from the project on people, fish, farms, and the environment. But state water officials say the project is badly needed to modernize the state's infrastructure in the face of climate change, while critics say it will hurt communities in the northern areas of the state that rely on that water. Well, in business news, the Federal Reserve has raised the benchmark interest rate again. The central bank decided today to raise the key rate by a substantial 3/4 of a point for the second straight time in a bid to curb inflation. This is the Fed's fourth rate hike since March. Since then, with inflation setting new 4-decade highs, the central bank has tightened credit ever more aggressively. Now, despite inflation, we're hearing 57% of Americans have taken a vacation in the last year. According to a study by Alliance Partners USA, that is the highest number reported for as long as the company has been conducting this survey. 18 to 34-year-olds were the demographic taking the most vacation days. They also found about 3/4 of Americans consider an annual vacation important, but about 40% say they haven't taken a vacation in a year or more.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.